Hundreds of websites, books, videos, workshops, and discussion groups are devoted to the Mayan calendar and why it ends on December 21st, 2012. Looking closer, we see one side who speaks of mankind's total annihilation in a few years, while the other side tells of the coming planetary transformation. Predictions can be anything from a reversal of the magnetic poles of the Earth, a galactic vibratory wave affecting the planet, to extraterrestrial spiritual masters arriving to save humanity. We can see our planet is highly dysfunctional. Or is it? Firstly, there are terrorists, and the need to kill every one of the infidels. There's rampant imperialism, and the need to elect better people to govern. Declining morality requires a return to family values. There's the environmental crisis, where our dependence on oil will cause the world to come to a grinding halt when the supply ends. And let's not forget that the burning of the black gold has poisoned the air we breathe. 50% of the money supply is owned by 2% of the population. Meanwhile, millions are starving, and still others live on less than $1 per day. We lose 10,000 species every year. 1/3 of the world's coral reefs have died. The ocean's fish are being depleted. There is a shortage of drinking water. The climate is hotter. There are foreclosures on home mortgages, spiraling credit card debt, the world's population keeps increasing, and the threat of a global pandemic. The signs are all around us, from the writings of Gordon Michael Scallion, the predictions of Nostradamus and Edgar Cayce, to the legends of the Hopi Indians. We can see something is going on. Disasters such as earthquakes, volcanoes, floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes are becoming a common occurrence in the first decade of the 21st century. We have arrived at a dangerous moment in the history of civilization. Fossil fuels, metals, trees, air, and water, our natural resources are becoming scarce and will soon be gone. I'll speak more about this in a bit, but let me get back to the Mayans in 2012. We can find plenty of resources on the Internet dealing with the Mayan long count, short count, and how, after considering data from astronomy, archaeology, and iconography, J. Eric S. Thompson determined that the Mayans' calendar date of 0.0.0.0.0 corresponded to the Julian date of August 11th, 3114 B.C. The research is available for those interested in further study, but for our purposes here, the Mayans' calendar, 13 Bactum cycle, 5,125 years, calculates to end December 21st, 2012. The calendars wrongly attributed to the Mayans were really developed by the Pleiadians. More about that later. December 21st, 2012 also corresponds to a shift of ages, or the phenomenon called the precession of the equinoxes, which occurs because of the slow wobbling of the Earth's axis. Although known about by the Egyptians and the Babylonians, the Greek astronomer Hipparchus is generally thought to have discovered the precession. The Earth's axis has a 23.5-degree tilt, which gives us our seasons. Hipparchus proposed that the axis around which the heavens seemed to rotate shifted gradually, though very slowly. The rate is about one full zodiac cycle in 26,000 years, and every 2,160 years, the points of the equinoxes move backwards through the zodiac signs. We're currently in the age of Pisces and moving into the age of Aquarius. The Mayan called the passage from August 11th, 3104 B.C. to December 21st, 2012, the Great Cycle. But it's not really a measurement of time. It's rather a measurement of our planet's passage through the harmonic wave generated from the galactic core. and this wave measures 5,125 years wide. This frequency wave has a vibratory resonance of 7.5 megacycles, which just happens to correspond to the alpha state of the human brain. Basically, this means we are in conscious alignment with the third dimension. Within the last 200 years, the resonance has been building. It has become faster and brought humanity to great technological achievement. Does this mean as the vibratory wave continues to accelerate, humans will move past technology? As the saying goes, time will tell. Information is moving faster as well. Calculations that previously took decades now take minutes. Each new development stands on the shoulders of the previous breakthrough. Each new phase of our development, our evolution, requires less time. If someone told us 200 years ago that we would have telephones, radios, movies, and the internet, we would have thought they were fabricating a fantastic story. Just a few decades ago, if someone wanted to get a message from America to England, it would take several months by sea. Today, this same message arrives instantly by mouse click. Everything is accelerating. Computing power doubles every 18 months. This means by the year 2020, computers will be on par with the human brain. Access to information has doubled from 600 BC to 1900, and doubled again in only another 50 years. From 1950 to 1970, it doubled again, and from 1970 to 1980, it doubled yet again. Again, from 1980 to 1985, information doubled. From 1985 to 1987, it doubled again. We are so far from catching up with ourselves that we're already entering a new phase without even realizing we've left the old phase. Continuing on course, transfer of information accelerates as years become months, then weeks, then days, minutes, seconds, and finally instantaneous. Talking became writing, then printing, telephones, radio, television, computers, and the internet. Are we to become one mind or a global brain? The important point is that information becomes knowledge, and depending on what we do with it, we can make the choice to take knowledge to the level of wisdom. 100 years ago, spiritual knowledge was localized, while today the access to the teachings from many traditions and cultures is easily available to anyone through the internet, books, and recordings. We are accelerating, and the planet is accelerating. In metaphysical terms, the entire solar system is spiraling faster and faster through space in a manner that indicates we are attached to something. This something is Sirius A. This spiral has an uncanny appearance of the DNA molecule and points to a genetically critical alignment occurring between Sirius and Earth. We reach the center of this alignment on or about December 21st, 2012. On this date, the end of the Mayan calendar, there will be an alignment between the galactic and solar planes. A sky portal will open as our sun conjuncts the Milky Way and the elliptic plane. A cross is formed by the intersection of our galaxy and the plane of the ecliptic, and this formation was called the sacred tree by the Mayans. Depicted in several motifs and references in the incredible Mayan site of Palenque, their ruler, Pakal, is seen traveling in his spaceship through the open sky portal. This portal is said to be a human's passageway into and out of the physical plane. Some say in 2012 and beyond, we will be able to consciously move back and forth along the sky portal at will. Or to put it another way, we will be able to travel between dimensions. We are evolving, we're changing, and we're accelerating to a point where we will be able to travel multidimensionally. Communication is almost instantaneous, where knowledge is available to anyone with access to the Internet. Will all this knowledge change our behavior? Already, greater numbers of people are becoming spiritually aware. But what about the rest of humanity? Will we all wake up from our programming? Most people's minds are controlled and manipulated by governments, institutions, religions, and the mass media, continuously programming fear and negativity into the human collective. This sounds like we need an outside something or someone to help, doesn't it? Well, there's nothing out there. We are the Savior we've been waiting for. People are beginning to experience and internalize the fact that we are all connected to each other and the planet. We are beginning to utilize the vast amount of information that's available to us and find the wisdom in it, and begin to understand how this knowledge can serve all of humanity. Spiritual awareness is expanding to tap into the global brain, the human collective, by merging knowledge, wisdom, and intuition. We must consciously move into the next era. The Mayan calendar was developed long before the Julian or Gregorian calendars. It is based on naturally occurring energy cycles and the connection of the Earth, Sun, and Pleiades. Time is not linear, where it moves forward from point A to point B. Time is more of a spiral, a cycle. Time is circular. This means the knowledge and wisdom, the secrets of the ancients, will come back to us again. We are returning to the beginning, cycling back to understanding our oneness. The calendar attributed to the Mayans describes how the progression of the heavens influences the human collective consciousness. It provides an exact schedule for the unfolding of the great experiment. The Mayan calendar describes the evolution of human consciousness. For the first time in 26,000 years of history, the sun and the earth are aligning with the dark rift of our galaxy, and this leads directly to the galactic center. It is the sky portal to multidimensional reality, parallel worlds, and all possibility. In the past, this passageway was only accessible by the few, and now it is becoming available to all of us if we can only step out of our way and out of our limiting beliefs. It looks like all things are disconnected from each other, but are they? We've got to stop terrorism and elect new leaders. We've got to stop global warming and find alternative energy sources and clean up the air. We need to stop consumerism, which fuels the profit by any means necessary, thinking of big business. But what can we do when we cannot agree on solutions? When we still buy into the illusion of separateness? Ironically, the one thing we do have in common is that we don't know what to do. Because of our state of separation, we're cut off from all of life. The world is characterized by desire and a me and not me mentality. We're told that something is missing, and if we can only find it, we would be happy. So we desire this, and we desire that, and this propels the global economy. However, it also ingrains the word lack into our belief system. We feel we're lacking something. Yes, we are. Unconditional love. It's a psychological lack, a disconnection from oneness, and more money, more power, more sex, more things, or more of anything for that matter, won't fill the hole in our hearts. People are in a constant state of worry, and as we have seen, the greatest threat to the stability of the world is greed and governments, institutions, religions, and businesses that put profit before people and the planet. And speaking of religion, the Bible speaks in great detail about the current state of the world, the coming battle between good and evil, and how it all ends. To quote from Revelation 16:13-16, And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Armageddon is a real place. It is located in Israel and is said to be the site where the final battle between good and evil, or those who accept Christ or those who do not, is fought. Another word found in Revelations is apocalypse. After the battle at Armageddon, the cataclysm that comes after is called the apocalypse. It's not a pretty picture. However, significant numbers of people of all faiths are counting the days to the final destruction of the world and humanity. People from all over the world, including Muslims, Christians, and Jews, flock to the region to get a glimpse of where the battle will take place. And a particular group, the evangelical Christians, are looking forward to something called the rapture, which is the moment before the final battle, where the true believers are literally lifted off the planet to join God and watch the destruction from their heavenly abode. This belief system is so strong, it is very possible either a staged or actual war will take place. Funny, there are also plans to build the new Christian theme park near the Sea of Galilee, the same water Jesus walked upon, with an opening date in early 2012. How much the tickets will cost for the Rapture ride remains to be seen. This moment of accelerated energy has never existed on Earth before. All we see around us, from the challenges to the opportunities of today's world, are the result of all that has come before. The population increases by 218,000 people every day. At a soul level, everyone wants to experience these prophetic times. More than ever, the separation we feel and the imbalances around us are becoming clearer. Love, beauty, sharing, and compassion permeate the world along with fear, pain, anguish, and brutality. Now is our chance to take responsibility, to cleanse and to heal ourselves and the planet. Science tells us beginning in 1980, the Earth's resonant frequency has increased from 7.83 cycles per second to well over 12 cycles per second. Meanwhile, the planet's magnetic fields are decreasing 7% in the last 100 years. This means profound influences on our nervous system and our perceptions of time and space. But that's good news, because these changes allow us to release our emotional baggage, our programming, and belief systems, as well as create our desires and to manifest our reality in less time. So is December 21st, 2012 a beginning, an ending, or both? The Hopi and the Mayan elders do not prophesy that everything will come to an end. Rather, that this is a time of transition from one world into another. The message they give concerns how we will enter the coming era. Will it be by resistance or acceptance? Our choice will determine whether we will experience great upheaval or gradual peace and tranquility. The Mayan elders, the Pleiadians, had a very precise understanding of cyclic time, and they believed that these cycles coincided with our spiritual and collective consciousness. From 1999 through 2012 is the 13-year period where the Mayans prophesied humanity would have the opportunity to move beyond the path of self-destruction and instead align ourselves with the path back to oneness. Only by changing our belief systems would we avoid a great cataclysm and again remember our divine heritage. There have been many cataclysms humanity has faced through the ages, with the last being the Great Flood. The Mayans believed each cataclysm was a step up in the collective consciousness, and by forewarning mankind of the changes about to occur, we would be able to prepare for what is to come. They believed that the coming changes will permit us to make a quantum leap forward in the evolution of our consciousness and create a new reality of harmony, compassion, and peace. Since 1999, we have had the opportunity to look at ourselves and our behavior with others, nature, and the earth. This is the time where we can consciously decide to take responsibility for ourselves. This 13-year period is a time of spiritual regeneration where we can analyze our beliefs, thoughts, and emotions and base our choices upon love instead of fear. The belief in dualism and separation brought great scientific and material progress at the cost of banishing God to the heavens and stripping earth of her sacredness. Mankind is plundering and polluting the world, as well as destroying the very ecosystem we depend upon for survival. We have created a spiritual wasteland, and the technologies in which we rely on so much are beginning to fail us. Our development can no longer rest on a society built on a foundation of fear and selfishness. Our only real choice is unconditional love. We will have to make decisions and individual choices that will affect us all. If we continue walking the negative path that separates and divides, our journey will end in chaos and destruction. If we become conscious and realize we are all one, our path will continue to expand into the infinite potential of all possibility. Again, it is up to us to make a choice. The choice between love or fear. The harmonic convergence of 1987 brought the beginning of a 25-year period where our materialistic world would slowly disappear, where compassion would light our hearts, and an era of peace and harmony would be available for all. As we pass through this transition, there is much destruction, social chaos, war, and upheaval upon the earth. This is a time of cleansing for the planet, and of raising all who dwell upon it into a new vibratory level, an expanded awareness. In order to make the shift, we must transform the powerful darkness that blocks the way. Many powerful souls have incarnated, both of the light and of the dark. Accelerated vibratory energy is available for both sides. In our world of duality, the light and the dark need each other. At this moment, the dark side is very strong and very clear about what they want. They are powerful creators of reality. They have their vision, and their priority is to keep humanity in bondage and fear. They are of the old world and do not want change, oneness, or peace. They are afraid of the coming transition, but they cannot be overpowered or destroyed. They must be included in the awakening. 2012 and beyond is an era governed by the element of ether. It is the bringing together of polarities and the elimination of separation. We are moving beyond the traditional elements of earth, air, water, and fire. Ether is where time and space collapse into the now. What is ethereal is beyond the physical dimension. Ether is the element that fills the upper regions of space, the heavens. Ether allows us to move past separation, a place where the light fuses with the darkness. This is not achieved by preaching or prayer, but by compassion and unconditional love. We can only embrace non-duality when we believe we are worthy. Once we let go of guilt, blame, hatred, and judgment, can the darkness and light become one. In this moment, we awaken from our dream. We enjoy instant manifestation of our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and expectations. There is no separation between reality and our focus. Wars will end and abuse will cease. We would see no purpose in hurting each other. We would truly come to know unconditional love. The third star in the Pleiades constellation is called Maya. This is where the Mayans came from. Its orbital path is around Alcyone. Our Earth and Maya are currently residing in a photon light energy field called the photon belt. Earth and Maya are in synchronization within this energy field, and the wisdom of the ancients is returning to assist us as the grand cycle comes to completion. Challenging times lie ahead. We have an opportunity for a tremendous leap in human evolution, but we must be ready. Everyone is here for an important purpose, and our attitude and the choices we make determine how the 2012 shift is going to happen. It is very important to be clear in our thinking and strive for unity. Awareness is crucial. Become aware. Look with new eyes and listen with new ears. This is a crucially important moment in our journey, and we have spiritual work to do. We need to remember our connection to each other. We exist in a cosmic frequency pattern of energy. Everyone and everything is energy, and our work is to sense this, understand, and remember this. And to understand the realm of energy is associated with the element of ether. The ancient Mayan stones and the stars themselves tell us we are transitioning into a new world. It is the time for humanity to awaken into a partnership with each other, with the earth and the heavens. This is clearly our challenge, our work, yet an amazing opportunity to remember and reclaim our divine heritage. So do not be afraid in the years that lie ahead. 2012 does not mean cataclysm. It is the coming of the new age in which we will remember our oneness and the power of the ancients. We will be able to levitate again. More and more people are interested in self-empowerment, enlightenment, and spirituality these days. And at the same time, the world is dysfunctional and much chaos exists to balance the world's karma. This is the law, and by understanding it and following it, we will ascend and be free from turmoil forever. Most importantly, above all else, choose love. We are almost at that fork in the road again. Do we choose the one paved with separateness, grief, dysfunction, and illusion? Or do we choose a different road, a new way, a road that beckons, a pathway lined with abundance and limitless possibility? How do we choose which path to take when we can barely see from the darkness that surrounds us? We just listen to that still, small voice within. It has always known the way. This is Tom Murasso from BornToManifest.com.